By late June 2025, the skies over India were no longer peaceful. Just weeks after a devastating aviation disaster in Ahmedabad that claimed hundreds of lives, Air India and its low-cost subsidiary, Air India Express, found themselves grappling with a series of technical glitches and security incidents. From emergency returns due to burning smells in the cabin, vague security alerts, to in-flight technical malfunctions, each event has heightened public anxiety and raised serious questions about aviation safety standards. What exactly is happening behind the scenes, and how are the airline and regulatory authorities responding? In the following sections, we will take a detailed look at each incident, the immediate responses from the airline and authorities, and the broader implications for aviation safety standards in India. On the night of June 27, 2025, Air India Flight AI-639, operating from Mumbai to Chennai, was forced to return shortly after takeoff due to a burning smell detected inside the cabin. The flight departed around 11:50 p.m., and about 45 minutes later, the captain announced the decision to head back to Mumbai as a precaution. The aircraft landed safely at 12:47 a.m. Passengers reported noticing a faint burning or electrical odor, prompting the crew to conduct safety checks before notifying the cockpit. Air India confirmed the incident and arranged a replacement aircraft to minimize disruption. Ground staff at Mumbai provided assistance with refreshments and onward travel arrangements. The specific cause of the odor remains under investigation. Experts suggest such smells may result from electrical faults, overheating components, or minor fluid leaks. Air India stated that a full technical inspection was carried out, and the DGCA was informed as part of standard safety procedures. Though the incident did not result in injuries, it added to ongoing public concerns about Air India's operational safety in recent weeks. On the same day, June 27, 2025, an unspecified security alert was reported on one of Air India's aircraft, further fueling public concern over flight safety amid a string of recent operational issues. The airline did not disclose details about the nature of the threat, the flight number, or the route involved. In response, Air India activated its full set of mandated security protocols, which included thorough baggage screening, technical checks, and a complete search of the passenger cabin. Following these inspections, no credible threat was identified, and the aircraft was cleared to proceed with its journey as planned. An airline spokesperson emphasized that passenger and crew safety remain Air India's top priority. The situation was handled with heightened caution, but did not cause any major delays or disruptions to flight schedules. Aviation security officials, including the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security and the Central Industrial Security Force, were notified as per standard protocol. While the incident was ultimately deemed a false alarm, it contributed to growing scrutiny of Air India's operational readiness during a particularly challenging period for the airline. On the morning of June 30, 2025, Air India Express Flight YX2564, operating from Delhi to Jammu, experienced an in-flight technical malfunction and was forced to return to its point of departure. The Airbus A320 aircraft was scheduled to take off at 10:40 a.m., but actually departed later, at approximately 11:04 a.m. After around 20 minutes in the air, the flight crew detected an abnormal technical indication and immediately requested a return to Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi. According to flight data, the aircraft turned back shortly after reaching its initial cruising altitude and landed safely within less than 1 hour after departure. An Air India Express spokesperson indicated that the suspected cause was GPS signal interference. This phenomenon has been widely flagged as a growing concern within the aviation industry, particularly in certain geographically and militarily sensitive regions. Following the incident, the airline arranged a replacement aircraft to transport passengers to Jammu. During the wait, passengers were provided with drinking water, updated flight information, and assistance with their luggage. In a media statement, an Air India Express representative expressed regret for the inconvenience caused and confirmed that the airline was working closely with relevant authorities to investigate the matter thoroughly. Ensuring the safety of passengers and crew remains the airline's highest priority. On June 12, 2025, Air India flight AI-171, operated by a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, suffered a catastrophic accident just minutes after takeoff from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad en route to London. This incident is regarded as one of the deadliest aviation disasters in India in over 2 decades. The aircraft was carrying 242 people, including passengers and crew members. Approximately 6 minutes after takeoff, at around 1:30 p.m., the pilot issued a Mayday distress signal, indicating a severe emergency. Moments later, the aircraft experienced a sudden loss of altitude and crashed into the Meganinagar residential area, which includes dormitories for doctors and students from BJ Medical College. The crash was followed by an intense fire. The consequences were devastating. 241 people on board perished, with only one male passenger surviving. He was reportedly seated near an emergency exit and was thrown clear during the impact. Additionally, 19 people on the ground, mainly medical students and their family members, also lost their lives due to the blast impact and flying debris, bringing the total death toll to 260. Immediately after the crash, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA of India, in coordination with Air India and technical experts from Boeing and Rolls-Royce, launched an urgent investigation. The aircraft's black boxes, including the cockpit voice recorder, CVR, and flight data recorder, FDR, were recovered and sent for decoding. Although an official conclusion has yet to be announced, initial theories suggest possible engine failure, a malfunction in the electronic control systems, or issues within the aircraft's restart mechanisms post-takeoff. The fact that both engines failed within just a few minutes has led aviation experts to classify this as an extremely rare technical anomaly. Families of the victims are now demanding transparency in the investigation process and the delivery of justice. Beyond the immense human tragedy, the accident has served as a wake-up call for both the Indian and global aviation industries. It underscores the urgent need to strengthen safety standards, particularly during this phase of rapid growth and restructuring among major carriers. One of the aspects that has drawn particular attention from authorities is the unprecedented failure of both engines almost immediately after takeoff. According to Civil Aviation Minister Muralidhar Mohol, this was a highly unusual and previously unseen scenario in India's aviation history. Potential causes under investigation include engine failure, fuel supply issues, or faults within the electronic control systems. However, Mohol emphasized that it remains too early for definitive conclusions and that a detailed investigation report will be released within the next 3 months. Addressing public anxiety, the minister assured that all 33 Boeing 7878 Dreamliners in Air India's fleet had undergone thorough inspections by the DGCA and were declared safe for operation. He reiterated that this was an isolated and rare occurrence and does not compromise the overall safety of the airline's fleet. Mohol noted that public confidence was returning and that passengers were resuming air travel as normal. In addition to the investigation into the crash, the minister also acknowledged broader challenges facing the Indian aviation sector. Speaking at the Emerging Business Conclave in Pune, he highlighted several ongoing challenges within the aviation sector. These included a shortage of 419 technical personnel at the DGCA, extended duty hours for pilots at private airlines, and unregulated recruitment practices at some carriers. He confirmed that the ministry is implementing phased reforms to address these systemic issues. Beyond safety investigations, Mohol also announced a new initiative to improve passenger amenities at airports: the Udan Yatri Cafes. These low-cost kiosks offer water at 10 rupees and tea and samosas at 20 rupees. They have already been established at 4 to 5 major airports, with plans for further expansion. While the investigation into the AI-171 crash continues, it is evident that the public expects clear answers, full transparency, and meaningful reforms to prevent similar tragedies in the future. The challenges facing Air India and the Indian aviation sector are not isolated. The second quarter of 2025 has seen numerous major airlines worldwide grappling with serious issues related to technical safety and aviation security. Both the United States Federal Aviation Administration and the European Union Aviation Safety Agency have issued urgent warnings about GPS jamming and GPS spoofing incidents. The most affected regions include the Middle East, South Asia, and several sensitive border zones between nations. According to data, the number of commercial flights forced to turn back or divert due to technical malfunctions or loss of navigation signals increased by more than 30% in the first half of 2025 compared to the same period last year. Several airlines operating in the Middle East and Eastern Europe have also reported prolonged GPS signal outages, seriously affecting navigation and flight safety. In addition, the second quarter of 2025 witnessed a series of global air accidents and incidents. In response, international organizations such as the International Civil Aviation Organization have recommended that member states conduct comprehensive audits of operational procedures, maintenance practices, and air traffic control systems. Aviation safety expert Paul Hayes, safety director at Ascend by Cirium, observed that the global aviation industry is entering an unprecedented period of turbulence. He pointed out that multiple risk factors are converging, including fleet expansion pressures, post-pandemic maintenance staffing shortages, cybersecurity threats, and widespread GPS interference. Strengthening oversight, investing in safety systems, and undertaking a complete operational restructuring have now become urgent requirements for all airlines, not just Air India. Amid this wave of successive incidents, Air India is facing one of its greatest tests of trust and accountability. The airline has stated that it is working closely with regulatory authorities and has already initiated additional inspections across its entire fleet. But Air India is not stopping there. The carrier has pledged to significantly increase its investments in maintenance systems, crew training programs, and early warning technologies, all aimed at reinforcing the highest levels of operational safety. Safety is no longer just a slogan. It is now a critical and binding promise that the airline must fulfill, not only to regain the confidence of its passengers, but also to meet the expectations of the global aviation community.